Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement, getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, and Reader's Magnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on us authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, Reader's Magnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank Reader's Magnet and everybody that's involved. I love Reader's Magnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Hello, my name's Kathy Binder, and I am the author of The Half Vampire Twins Gothic. It is the first book out of a series of 4 books. The other 3 books are called Ascension, The Covenant, and The Cure. Right now, I am working on my second book. I'm hoping to have it published and out by next summer, 2022. And that would be The Half Vampire Twins Ascension, which follows the first book then. And I'll give you a little information about myself. When I was about 9 years old, I started writing at a very young age. I wrote in diaries and journals. Then I wrote short stories. I entered some of my short stories into contests. The short stories that I wrote, you had to be able, for this contest, you had to be able to illustrate and write your book. And I was not a very good illustrator. But the books that I wrote when I was younger, I'm hoping to publish it later on. Both the books, they're called The Lost Soul and Telesia. So as soon as I can find an illustrator, I would like to publish those children books later on. Also later on in high school, I started taking creative writing class. And then I wrote poetry. So in my book, there's actually 2 songs that I wrote, the song lyrics to. The Half Vampire Twins are musically talented vampires. So Kyra actually plays the guitar and piano, and she also starts up a band later on. And Kyle actually plays the electric guitar. So, and within my book, I've got action, comedy, romance. I have a comedy scene with anatomy and physiology. I've got an action scene with a car race on the racetrack there. And then I have prom, which has romance in. And then I do have a mysterious person that you're trying to figure out more about, and that's Trent in this book. So with the race car scene, I have what is called 2-man cruisers. Some people don't know what 2-man cruisers are. It is actually a race car that's set up where the driver has the steering wheel and the brake, and then the passenger has the gas pedal. And you have to work together to go around the racetrack. And if you get a caution flag, you turn around and you go the other way. The 2 cars that I have in the car race is a Camaro and a Mustang. My oldest brother, he collects old Camaros, so I like the old Camaros and Mustangs right around 1970 year, and so I thought it'd be kind of cool to have two collector cars racing around the track for the two-man cruiser race there. And then later on, I actually did write another small children's book. I haven't found an illustrator for that one either. It's Johnny and the Monster Under the Bed. And that story is just to help children not to be scared of monsters under the bed. So it's a little children's story there. I'm looking for an illustrator for that one. It's written already, just need an illustrator to illustrate it, and then I'll publish that one. And then I have someone that had asked if I would ever turn my book into what is called a manga. And I've got 13 chapters in this book. And I said there's so much action in here that it could be a manga book. For people who don't know what a manga book, here's an example of one. My son likes watching Zelda. And manga is kind of like a comic book, actually. So this is what it looks like. It's just like a little comic book in there. So that's what my son reads. And then somebody had asked about if I'd ever turn it into like anime or something. But these Vampire Knights are actually anime cartoons. And they're both vampires, Vampire Knights. And that would be kind of cool too, to turn it into something like that. But someone else had asked about with the cover of my book. They said they look like it's an actual movie. Well, it's not a movie. It would be cool to turn it into a movie, but it's not a movie. The two people on the cover is actually, I've got a character sheet, and it has descriptions of both my characters. So exactly what my characters are in the book is actually on the cover of the book there. My publishing company's Book Baby. So I'm not sure where they got the picture from. I don't know if it's just like models that posed, but that came from my publisher there. And I noticed that some books that you read, the cover of the book isn't the people or description they have in the book. And I like to actually have the description of my characters that are in the book actually on the cover of my book. And then someone had asked if I would ever turn it into the movie, what kind of characters, like actors and actresses, would I have in my book or in the movie there. And for the father, Adrian, I was actually going with Luke Evans. I thought he did very good as a vampire in Untold. And then for Kira, the mother, I was thinking, well, I've never acted before, but it'd be cool if I played the mother there. But I was thinking, if not, it would be Kate Beckinsale. I liked her in the Underworld series that she's in. And then with Kyle and Kyra, the twins, Kyle, I would have the younger version if he was younger playing. Of course, he's too old to be playing in high school, but I was thinking Theo James, actually. I liked him in the Divergent series and the Underworld Awakening and Blood Wars. And then for Kyra, I actually had Lily Collins would be one, but she's also probably too old to be playing the part there, but I thought she would be cool. She was in the Mortal Instruments City of Bones. I really like that movie. I said, if not, if it's somebody really close to that age, I actually had thought of Olivia Rodrigo. I believe she's in another movie series I'm not exactly sure what the movie series is called, but I know she's done acting. And I do like her as a singer too. My favorite song is Traitor that she sings. So Olivia Rodrigo would be playing Kyra. And then Johnny, I have a son named Johnny, and he's right in high school too. And he's a comedian. And Johnny in the book is a comedian too. So I'm like, I would have my son Johnny play Johnny. And then Trent is the mysterious person you don't know very much about. If I had a younger version, I would have Alexander Skarsgård play Trent. I really liked him in the True Blood series, where he was good and bad, kind of mysterious too. And then I liked him in Tarzan, and he was in The Stand by Stephen King, and Godzilla versus Kong. So if he was a younger version there. Then the only other one I could think of possibly playing Trent also would be Jamie Campbell Bower is the other one too. So that's some examples of people I would have play. But like I said, these are older actors that I'm used to seeing on screen. So I would actually have to find somebody that's like 16, 17 in the high school age that actually play those characters there. And then I'll go through a little bit with writing. When I had started writing this book, my son was 2. And when I finished writing this book, he was actually 12. When he was 2, I had a full-time job and then a 2-year toddler. A toddler is like another full-time job. So I didn't have the time to write. So I actually put my book away. And then when my son turned 12, he had asked if I was ever going to finish the story that I started when he was 2. So I said, yep, I'll sit down and I'll finish it now that you're older. And he said he wanted to be the first one to read my book and have it autographed. So in the beginning of my book, I actually have it for my son, Johnny, whose encouragement helped me to finish the story. So I actually dedicated it to my son. So he was my encouragement to finish my story. I've always wanted to write a vampire book when I was in middle school in 8th grade. I find it fascinating with some of the stories that I read when I was younger and some of the movies that I've seen where a regular human could walk among you and you wouldn't know that they're actually not human, they're a vampire. So I just thought that was kind of interesting there. I like to be unique, so my book is unique, different than other books. Musically talented vampires. I have 2 songs that I wrote in the book. There's also Kyra starts up a band. There's 2-man cruisers. There's comedy. There's romance. So there's a lot happening within my book that I find it unique and I think different than other vampire novels out there. And then who inspired me to start actually writing my series, I went over and I started reading Stephanie Meyer's Twilight series. And then she had a movie, then her series came out in the movie theaters. And she just inspired me as such a young author and how far she got. And sometimes you just need another author to really inspire you to make you want to write too. And she was my inspiration. She was the author that inspired me to write my unique vampire series. So I think that's really nice to have those role models out there for you. So starting my book, I did a character sheet first. So I knew exactly the descriptions and everything of all my characters to keep track of them within my book. And then I jotted down an outline my outline's pretty messy because I keep adding things to my outline. And then, of course, I wrote 2 songs within my book. And with the outline there, that's like really important. When I first started writing my book, I really didn't know how to do a character sheet and outline. So I actually went to our local library, and there was a writers club. So I joined that writers club, and I learned from the writers club how to do a character sheet, how to do an outline and proofread. And so all those things that I learned within the writers club helped me write this story there. So if people are interested in writing stories, it's really nice to join a writers club. They have really good information. And then you also have somebody, if you're looking for somebody to kind of critique your work, they're all writers there within the writers club there. So that is nice too. They have an opinion from somebody else. And then I was going to mention community service there. I do a lot of community service. I do the nutrition on weekends, which is through the Marshfield Area United Way. If you don't know what nutrition on weekends is, it's called now. It's a program for children, like parents that don't have a lot of money to afford to feed their children. We actually help make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We give them, we pack those lunches for like vegetables and crackers and fruits, snack cakes, and we have it where we actually pack enough food for 2 days. So then when we drop it off on Friday, they have enough for Saturday and Sunday for a meal. And that's what nutrition on weekends is. It's for kids that don't really have food to eat on the weekends there, and the parents can't really afford a lot. So that's a nice program they have. And normally it's our school and then surrounding school districts too. And it's about 500 some kids that we package food for and deliver to the school on Friday before they leave for the weekend. I also do the pediatric angel tree. That's normally my Black Friday thing. I will go out and I will select either a family or a few children, or if I don't select anybody, I will get a laundry basket and then I will just fill it up with different toys and activities for several children, and then I'll drop it off afterwards on Black Friday to the pediatric angels tree. And then I also help out with what they call as a Hope Lodge for children that have cancer. Their parents will stay over in the Hope Lodge, so we'll make like a meal to help out, and we do that for actually I'm active in 4-H. I used to be in 4-H when I was younger. My son's in 4-H now that he's older. When he was younger too, and now he's older, but I've helped out and I still help out in 4-H there. And one of them was the Hope Lodge. We also have maps that we help out with. It's the Marshfield Area Pet Shelter is maps. And normally that is also a community service project that we do. We go out to Walmart and we'll buy a whole bunch of different things for cats and dogs that MAPS might need. And then we drop it off. And it's one of the community service projects that we do. We also do Adopt a Highway. We clean up a certain section of the highway. And then we also do Rotary Winter Wonderland. If you're not familiar with what that is, we actually help out with setting up the lights for the park and the zoo. And then when when it's all ready to go, I believe normally it starts the day after Thanksgiving, so Black Friday, and then I think it goes until, I believe it's like just after New Year's Day there. And you set your radio station, and the lights will be moving with whatever music is playing on that radio station, and then we collect either money or food for the hungry or the needy there, and that's pretty much a food drive that we do. So that's a lot of community service projects. And then somebody asked about favorite songs and artists there, and I said I grew up listening to Bon Jovi, and I still listen to Bon Jovi, even sing karaoke with some of Bon Jovi songs. And my favorite song out of all is called "It's My Life." It's by far my favorite by Bon Jovi. Another artist that I listen to a lot is Taylor Swift. I started out listening to her when she did country music, and then she went into rock music. And actually, the song that I started listening to her was when she came out with the song Love Story. And I sing karaoke with that too. And then of course, Olivia Rodrigo, I like Traitor is my favorite song that she sings. And then also I'm big into Demi Lovato too, a lot of her songs too. So I guess I'm going to cut it short today. I don't have too much more to say. If you listen to my live session yesterday, I went through a lot yesterday. And today I can't think of too much there, but I will let you know that I do have 2 more live sessions next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and it's the same time from 6 to 7 Eastern Standard Time. I also have a podcast coming up on Black Friday, and I believe that is on the 26th, I believe. 1 second just to check that out. Yep, it is Friday, November 26th. And my podcast is from 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll have a podcast too then. And that will also go through more with my book there. And then my book is actually sci-fi and fiction and fantasy. It's more towards your older teenagers and then up to an adult. And I'm looking at both, trying to draw in both the male and female audience and to my book there. So that's for the comedy, action, romance, to try to get different interests. I know some of the people that have read my book, they like certain sections of my book. I know a couple of people have asked for all 4 books that I have not published all 4 yet, but I did leave it off in a really good spot. So I'm hoping to have the second book out summer of 2022. So to continue with the book series there. Some locations that you can get my book at is on paperback or ebook. There would be Amazon, Barnes & Noble, iBooks, Kobo, Scribd, Baker & Taylor, Copia, Gardeners, East Central, Ciendo, Versa, Overdrive, Playster, and Hoopla. And then there's other locations too if you just look for the author's name or the name of the book there. And then you can also like Kathy J. Binder, author on Facebook. I have a book club there. And then I also let people know where I'm doing book signings and where I'm going to be at and when the new book comes out, or if I'm starting maybe a new book series or a new book afterwards. I am looking at doing maybe not another series, but at least I haven't decided whether it's going to be a series or not. It might be just one book, but I'm looking at doing a book with vampires, werewolves, gargoyles, and angels. So it's going to be kind of a mixture of 4 different different characters in there. So I would just like to say thank you for joining me today. And I want to say thank you to Reader's Magnet for having me today. Thank you very much.